Welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be going to be taking a look at the Nerf Vortex Proton Quick Fire Blast. Here we go.
Just going over the box first of all. Here on the side here we have bank, curve and ricochet, which is quite cool, that you can do with the Vortex discs. I've never really seen the bank happen that well, but I definitely know the curve and the ricochet definitely works quite nicely. There's a lot of little notes on here. It says here, snap float side, snap it out, load in and blast. And then bend the rules of the battle with the Vortex XLR discs. It includes 3 of these. Okay, so we can go ahead and open this. Okay, so this is what is included.
Okay, so just going over how the blaster looks, I guess. For personally, this blue paint doesn't really match the blaster that well to me. However, it's definitely unique, and I think that it's kind of cool, especially compared to the original version, which is just green. So it's definitely something different. As you can see here, it's on both sides. But as I said, I think it doesn't match the blaster that well. So maybe a camo would be definitely a bit cooler with these sorts of colours. Now, it is a pistol and it's a little bit chunky, so it may not fit all holsters, but I think it definitely has to be this chunky because of the disc shape and size.
Now going over the function and how comfortable it is to use this blaster. First of all, the grip itself. We have a little sling man at the bottom here. The grip is definitely comfortable. It's definitely one of Nerf's better grips. However, the only complaint I have about it is if you have probably bigger hands maybe, your hand might have the tendency to slip over this little edge here, and it's not the most comfortable, but it's definitely a really light blaster, so it's not going to make too much of a difference. Then here we have the trigger. The trigger is not my favourite on this blaster. This blaster contains so many locks and things that it's a really hard trigger to pull, and it's not the most comfortable, but it does the job. Above that we have this little lever now, which is available on both sides. I know exactly what you want to call it, but what it does is when you pop a disc in, when you load the blaster, it essentially loads that disc. So it retracts that slide. Now, more on this priming mechanism, what you do is, if you just fire it, you pull this back to prime the blaster, you pop in your disc, then you pull this lever, which loads the blaster. Now, if you get a jam or the disc is stuck, you can push this orange tab forward and a disc will shimmy itself out. There's not really much else to talk about on this blaster, except from up top here, there's a tactical rail. You can put your red dot sight. Obviously, this is the barrel here, looking kind of cool. That's pretty much it. That is the Nerf Vortex Quick Fire. Okay, now going over the chrono results you just saw. I got an average of 15 meters per second, which converts to 50 feet per second. Now, that's definitely not high, but as a Vortex blaster, you got to remember they are different, a different ammo type essentially, and they are designed like this. And instead of just, they actually hover through the air, so they actually go as far, if not further, than an elite dart. But if I compare it to, say, my Revenix 360, that shoots about 60 feet per second. But it is a pistol, so you can expect it to shoot slightly less. But I'm still happy with that because it definitely travels. The discs definitely travel decently far. I haven't got a proper test for that yet, which I'll definitely try to do in the future for like distance testing. But at 50 feet per second, it's not too bad. Now just going over the accuracy of this blaster.
Here we have the Nerf Vortex Proton accuracy test. I'll be using these Nerf Vortex discs because they're my newest one. It's starting off with the left square and shaking a little bit. One in. Two. 3. Now moving on to a right circle. Oh. Moving on to middle square. How many is that? I think that's 2. It's a little bit shaky, not gonna lie. Okay, moving on to bottom left triangle. A little bit harder now. Don't get any of these in. Oh. I'm not gonna lie, these discs do fit the scheme quite well though. The white and the pale like colour. Oh, wrong one. Oh, there we go. Bang shot. Oh, it's close. Oh, and another one in. Hey, this is bad. Oh.
Okay, so from that video, you can tell that its accuracy is not too bad. I got an average of 8 out of 20 shot. That's pretty good for a pistol, I think. I don't remember Vortex being that accurate, but it seemed pretty good in the test. However, being a pistol, it's definitely not the easiest to aim, so maybe putting a scope on there would help, maybe. But yeah, so being a pistol, it's not the easiest to aim, but I still got a decent result. So I think that's a pretty good win for the accuracy. Okay, so a little bit on price and where I got it. So I got it on eBay, actually new, and I got it for a decent price as well. But these are very old, and you're very unlikely to find them new, especially at a decent price. So definitely have a look for any used blasters. You'll definitely get them around 10 quid, especially the original version. And I think they're decently moddable. So you can upgrade that spring so they're acting like newer blasters. And that may even be a bargain if you can sort of get a really good condition one. Now, in conclusion, I definitely think this is a nice little package. The only downside, I think, is that they don't make them anymore. So you're most likely going to get it used. So it may not be in the best condition. But as I did say before, they're quite easily modified to increase the spring strength. The only problem I had with the Proton was the trigger, I think. It doesn't affect the blaster in any way. In terms of comfort, it's definitely not the most comfortable trigger pull. But other than the trigger, I definitely think this is a sweet blaster. I really like the loading mechanism. It's definitely unique. I don't think any other blaster has this sort of loading mechanism. And if you can get this at a bargain, I definitely recommend getting it. You're more likely to find this green one. Personally, I definitely like the colour scheme of this white one a little bit better. But they're both still pretty cool. I've managed to modify this one to shoot over about 65 feet per second, I think. So it's definitely sweet. I have tried removing the locks on the green one, but it hasn't seemed to improve the trigger pull, and I don't know why. So I'm not quite sure what the problem is with the trigger. So yeah, I do like this blaster. I hope you guys enjoyed or found this useful. If you did, please consider liking or subscribing. And remember to leave a comment down below if you think I could improve anything, or you guys have any video ideas. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.